I know you think you're already a pro makeup artist. Well, if you think you're not and you're ready to learn something new, well, use this chair beside it because I'm going to show you guys a step by step process on how I glam my bride from this to this. Congratulations to those who stayed. It means you really want to learn something new. Hey guys, it's your favorite makeup artist NK Chami, and today we're going to be learning this particular bridal look as you guys saw at the intro. And yes, I'm going to try my possible best to explain every single step word by word, process by process. Now, the only thing I didn't really do here is actually the face prepping because I've done several tutorial on face prepping, so I have to just keep that part. Now, what we're going to do this time is just working on the foundation, okay? I always emphasize on the word, try your possible best to blend your foundation in a way that it looks skin-like, although it is not skin, but blend it for it to look skin like so it doesn't look so caked up. And don't forget to blend your foundation down to the neck and back of the ear. The reason why this is being done is because you don't want it to whereby the face looks different from the neck or the body. Now, another thing I tend to do most time when I'm working with a dark skin person is I tend to use I would say a shade darker or her exact shade actually, but most times I actually go like a shade darker or something like half a shade darker. Yeah. So as you can see right now, it's not actually her exact shade. I feel it's a little bit darker than the actual shade. Now, please, if you are still learning or you're still in training, I will advise you just go with the instruction of your trainer or your makeup artist, yeah, and go with the exact shade because most times trying to blend and bring back the shade is a bit difficult. Now coming to the blush, I love using creamy blush. This is actually a lipstick, yeah. This actually um a dark orange shade, yeah. It looks like red though, but it's actually a dark orange shade for my Blossom um lipstick palette, yeah. So I won't really be showing you guys the product I'm using, but I mean I can just actually say a thing or two, more or less mention the name of the product I'm using so that you can actually go check them out and see if it works for you. Now I'm using this particular creamy blush just so that I can get that warm look on the face before going into highlights. Now I'm using Adventure concealer. This is actually shade 4. I love using shade 4 for a dark skin person. And mind you guys, remember we actually made her shade a little bit darker. So the highlight has to bring it up. Okay, that's actually the main reason why I tend to use a darker shade because I don't have to go back to start doing contour anymore because the face is already contoured, if that makes sense. So highlighting will actually bring it up so I won't have to work on contouring the face. Yeah, so that's just the major reason. Now I'm going to blend that in as well. Please always ensure that you blend out the outer part of your highlighted region first. I love blending out the outer part first because I don't want so much product on my beauty blender, and I don't want when you have too much product on beauty blender to be difficult for you to blend demarcations. Okay, so I blend the outer part first, then gradually go in to the inner part as you can see me do. Now guys, always take note that you don't have to rush this process, okay? It's not something you rush, so take your time while you work on your blending because when you blend well you get to have a skin like finish, but when you're actually in a hurry and you just want to rush the whole process, it's going to be so difficult. So the part that actually highlights actually under the eyes, your T-zone, the nose bridge, and the jaw. Okay, as you guys saw me doing the video. So carefully go over those region, carefully blend them, and get a very lovely finish. As you guys see me, I love taking my time when it comes to blending because I want to have that skin like finish, and this is actually bright, so I have to take my time. Okay, and when I'm done with the highlighted region, I'm going to go back to contour. Now I'm going to go over using a shade darker. I love using foundation, guys. That's actually my secret. You can actually use a pro concealer. I had dark cocoa. I have toast. Elegant concealer actually. Elegant concealer. I have toast. I have dark cocoa, but I kind of find it more easy for me to use foundation. Yeah. So if concealer works for you, it's actually still very much fine. But personally I work with foundation, darker shade foundation. Now when you're done blending that out, I'm going to go over to the powder stage. Now what we're doing before is actually the liquid stage. So I'm going over to the powder stage because I'm done everything that to do with liquid products. Now I'm going to go over to like work on the powder stage. Now I know most of you are used to setting the face first, more like using a setting powder to set the highlighted vision. But I don't know for about it doesn't really work for me. Personally, it doesn't work for me. I love so very much to use my powder first. I use a lighter shade powder, let's say a shade lighter or two shade lighter from her normal shade to um apply that on the highlighted region. Then carefully, if I'm done applying it, I love it to use a I love to use that, we like call it a beauty foam, yeah, to just damp into the skin so that it actually does not move the product I had on the skin before. So if I'm done with the highlighted region, I just go over to use her powder over the other part of the face that were not highlighted. So take note, guys. The part that you highlighted, you're going to use a shade or two shade lighter than her normal shade on those parts, right? Then the part that were not highlighted, like the normal part, as you can see me do, I can apply her normal shade powder over there. As you're applying your normal shade powder, don't forget to actually blend too because you don't want demarcation. As you can see me, as I'm damping, as I'm, that's all I was saying, damping, guys. As I'm blending it with my powder brush, I'm actually just still trying possible best to ensure that I also blend it a little bit into the highlighted region just so that I won't be having sharp line. As you can see, I'm actually trying my best to blend out the harsh demarcations so I don't have sharp lines. I just have to you have to see a part that is light, a part that is dark, but don't see where they meet. Okay. Now if you're done with that, I'll still go over with a small powder brush and then properly blend the inner highlighted vision, okay, because those parts my normal powder brush will not really go in there because it may end up poking the eyes of my bride and I don't really want that. So if I'm done with that, I'll just go back to contour the nose again. I'm using I'll be using a powder as well. I think a dark shade powder for the nose contour, as you guys can see me do. So you carefully do that. I use a blending brush or an angle brush to do that, but it's actually a blending brush. So I'm just going to carefully blend. Please, guys, something I notice most people do is they always tend to use a very dark shade, and when you use a dark shade, blending it out will not be a big problem for you. So if possible, if since you've already done your liquid nose contour, you can just use her normal powder. It can actually go well for you. And normal powder can also go well. But if you know you can blend very well, then maybe a shade darker will be okay. But if you can't really blend very well, please I advise you use her normal shade powder. Now, after you're done with nose contour, like the powder stage, yeah, and that's when I go back to set. So I don't really set the face while it's still moist, like after I'm done my liquid stage. No, because most times if I set and allow it to bake, it just looks so caked up, if that makes sense. So I actually prefer to allow the face to be a little bit dry before going to set so that I can easily just dust out the setting powder the way I want it. Also note that product also matters. So if your product is not actually a very good product and you usually do the liquid stage and decide to set after liquid stage without rubbing your powder first, guys, you blend your hands out. So the part what I use for my setting powder is actually Adventure Cosmetic setting powder. I think I can't really say the number right now, but I know that among the light shade, not actually white, but among the light shade setting powder. Now coming to my eyeshadow, I actually decided to use a dark, it's actually Toast Elegant Concealer in shade Toast. I use that first, more like my primer. Yes, guys, I try to use that because I'm going with a dark base. So I'm using a dark brown base. So there's no need for me to go over using a very light um primer, right? So that's usually the reason why I used a darker shade as a primer. Okay, it's okay to use a darker shade as well. It must not really be white, but you just need to ensure that the base there is actually moist so that it can accept products. So if I'm done blending this out, I'm going to doing a cut crease. That's actually what I wanted to do for this bride, but I did something different for her traditional wedding. Those of you that have seen our video during her traditional wedding, it's already on the page, a tutorial. It's actually something different from this. So I wanted to do something like so different from the look we created for her on her trad. So I'm doing a full cut crease and we're going in with a nude shade. So if you are with us to this very moment, guys, if you are with us to this very moment, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. Like, it means a whole lot to us, guys. Subscribe to our channel. Anything that you feel like you don't really understand, you can drop a comment on the comment section. I am very available to answer your question. That is why this tutorial is being made. And also the notification icon, click on it to notify when I post a new video. Like, it means a lot to us. Now after I'm done cutting the crease, I carefully get the shade I want, mostly matte shade, and it's actually like a pinkish nude. Yeah, and mind you guys, whenever you're doing a cut crease, you don't blend. Just take your powder and you just tap on it until you're done. Okay, you don't really blend because you're working on a cut crease. You just need it to just sink into the product without blending. Now for the brows, I'm actually talking too much, right? All right, please tell me. For the brows, I'm using a gel, yeah, gel liner for that. It's actually carrot gel liner. I'm actually mixing black and the brown to get particular texture. So just carefully go over having a very sharp line at the base. Carefully, um draw desired shape you want for your brow. I have a tutorial on my page on how to get you to draw this particular shape of the brow. So in case you actually want to learn it, you can actually go down to the page to see how I draw a detailed tutorial on how this brow is being drawn. Yeah. So carefully draw the brows, and if you're done with that, this is actually one of like the easiest way to draw brows for me. Actually, I don't know about you guys. So if you're done with that, and this is that one is actually a bit bold, that's when I'm editing, right? I didn't really notice that during the process, but yeah, it happens. So if you're done with your brows, go over to conceal the brows. And so guys, while concealing, I actually use the exact shade um that I use for her highlighting. So most time whenever I'm considering the brows of a client or a bride, I use the exact same shade I use to for her highlighting to also conceal the brow. This is actually the same shade 4 from Adventure Pro Concealer stick here. So I actually love to use um the same shade I use for for highlighting or whatsoever bride. I use that same shade to conceal the brows. Now, if I'm done with that, actually go over to use that same brown shade from my eyeshadow palette. This actually Blossom Cosmetic um palette, eyeshadow palette. Yeah, I use the same brown shade to more or less touch the down eyeshadow a little bit before going to use Cara's gel liner, the black shade, to line the eyes like eyeliner. So if you're done with that, I'll carefully um do not mind my bride. Like, it's not really easy. Like, she actually stayed. I've had so many that could not even stay. Like, while you're working on the eyeliner, they keep blinking their eyes and you end up making so much mistake. But she tried. Actually, over 10, I'll give her like an 8. So if you're done with your eyelining and you just go back to fix your lashes, personally I love to use gel for the under eyes, and then I love to use my pencil liner for the upper part of the eyes. You see me do that later, but not now. So coming down to the lips, obviously we're working on a bright, so it's actually like a nude kind of look. So I'm usually using this almost similar color to the eyeshadow. So I'm using like a baby pink nude, baby pinkish nude, whatever, something like that shade for her lips. And then I'm using a brown shade to define the edge of her lips. I love to use gloss sometimes, so it's easy for me to apply. because most times although it's creamy, but at times it can be a little bit dry while blending. So if I use the gloss, it will just make it easy for me to apply and blend well. And the gloss actually dries very fast, and that's why I like the gloss. So that's very fast, and it ends up becoming a little bit matte, and I love the finish look it gets when it becomes dry. So I'm just going to mix the combination of the nude and the brown, and that's just basically it. Nothing so serious about the lips, just a normal regular everyday nude lips. Yeah. So I think with this blending, yeah, she didn't want it to be too much, so I had to make it calm down. Now, if you've been wondering why I sprayed my fixed spray on the eyes, I wanted to make the eyeshadow pop out more, and since it's already dried, putting more eyeshadow just like allowing it to fall out, like wasting of my product. But if the surface is actually very moist, it can accept more product. So I personally love to spray the face or the eyeshadows part so that it will be moist. So whenever I apply more product, it will sink in, or it will accept the product without it falling off or me wasting my product. As you can see, it's actually more pronounced now than it was. And whenever you're doing such, I love to do that while I have a fan at hand so that to be drying the product very fast for me. And this is actually Huda Beauty um pencil liner. So I love using this product a whole lot. It saves lives. So I love to use this product for my eyelining because it's easy. It doesn't really make me have so much mess on my eyeliner, because with my students, whenever they're using their gel, if you can't manage your gel, you just make a whole mess out of it. So I love to use pencil liner. If it works for you guys, let me know. If it doesn't work for you, let us know what exactly works for you. At this point in time, we are almost done, and I love to work on my highlighted region. Like I really want the highlighted region to be, genge, something that will blind my bright enemy from afar. You understand? So I'm just gonna touch the highlighted region again, and blend, blend, blend. Nothing too serious. After which I was set using the setting spray. This is actually Kids Beauty setting spray. And if I'm done with that, I'll just take my beauty sponge and dab, like pressing all the product into each other. And I'll go back to blush the face. I'm using a powder blush. This is CPD um powder blush. I'm actually touching the red and the light orange together. So making it mild though, making it mild because we don't want it to be too serious. It's a wedding, a white wedding. We don't want it to be too serious before going over to bronze the face. I'm actually using Tehila Cosmetics um blush slash bronze palette for this particular product. And yeah, that's basically it. If I'm done with that, I'm just gonna bronze the tip of the nose and the nose bridge. Yeah, just those parts as you can see me doing the video, and voila, I'm done. So just all you have to do is to put this in place. Yeah, that's basically it, guys. That's basically it. I'm just gonna dress the hair, and at this point in time, I was like, she wanted me to put some figures on her face. Like she wanted that black dot. I don't know why, but she said she likes it. I had to just put the black dot on her face, and she see the way she was smiling, like she loves it. She was actually peeping from the mirror in front of her, and she loved the whole gosh. You need to see what she was saying behind the camera. After everything, I had to set and seal everything in with the super sealing spray, and voila, guys. I hope you really learned something because this is actually the finished look. Just look at this bride on her beautiful, lovely wedding dress. Her gown is beautiful, and my bride is beautiful. Like, thank you so much for sitting, and I hope you actually learned something from this particular tutorial. So you can drop a comment in the comment section. See you guys in my next video. Bye.